here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back. For this week, we have the Chicago Bears versus the Tennessee Titans pregame preview with the man himself, Ken Moore. What's up, bud?
Hey, what's up, Alex? Man, how's it going up in Big D?
Oh man, it's kind of cloudy. It's kind of nasty out today. It's not too cold, but it's gloomy. What about over there in Houston?
Man, it's beautiful in H-Town, out in the sky. It's about 75 degrees. It's what they call it, Chamber of Commerce weather.
All right, and before we get this preview started, I want to tell everyone. So if you don't want to see my handsome face anymore, you can listen to my sexy voice. I'm gonna be on Mr.Titan has officially anywhere you can listen to a podcast. You can find me. You can find me on Spotify. You can find me on the podcast app as well. I think I'm on Apple Music. I don't know how that really works, but again, so if you don't want to see me anymore, you just want to listen to us, you can definitely go check out Mr. Titan Mr. Titan podcast. Leave some 5 stars, leave some good reviews, and subscribe. I would appreciate it very much. Been working with now Say It Again Network, Mr. Titan.
Congratulations.
Thank you again.
Congratulations, man.
So that's just a little, just letting everyone know where they could also find me, just in case they don't want to go to YouTube anymore and look at us. But
right.
Let's dive into this, man. Let's get going. What do you think? Let's talk a little bit about obviously the Bengals game. I mean, now we've made some roster moves. We made some roster changes completely. I mean, we lost Vic Beasley. You know, Clowney might be out. Adoree', we don't know anything yet. What do you think about this defense, especially coming into this game, man? That's going to be a question.
Yeah, you're going up against a Bears team that is really struggling defensively. Now we struggled against Houston. We struggled against Cincinnati. Cincinnati's kind of middle of the road. Houston's a pretty good offense passing the ball. Chicago, they struggle offensively ever since they made the quarterback change, whether it's Trubisky, Nick Foles. The running game is not really good. They don't make a lot of explosive plays downfield. They're more of a dink and dunk type offense. They wait for their defense to really set them up. They have a great defense, so their defense tries to put them in short fields if they can get turnovers and whatnot and make it a short field. It's going to be it has been really difficult for them to drive 70 and 80 yards. Now, against us, everybody's driving 70 and 80 yards. So it's a game that our defense should step up. But again, man, it's kind of like a coin flip. You don't know what you're going to get from these guys. And then now you have some new guys rotating in. Derek Roberson is supposed to play this weekend. He'll probably start if Clowney can't go. If Clowney can go, Roberson will definitely be in the rotation this week. We'll see if they bring up anybody else at the outside linebacker position from the practice squad. The secondary, again, is in flux. Jonathan Joseph is gone. You got King in. We're not sure if he's going to be ready to play this week with all the COVID protocols and everything that he has to go through and just how comfortable he may be with the defense, even if he is there. So it's hard to say what we're going to see this Sunday.
Yeah, definitely, especially with, again, it's almost like a newfound defense. I mean, hopefully, like what Mike Vrabel was saying, like hopefully we can have, all he asks is for the players to be ready, in shape, and ready to go. And hopefully some of the players from practice squad and other players that haven't gotten a chance because maybe a big Beasley has gotten in their way and stuff like that. Hopefully they can shine and have that burst that we need from defense. Maybe a pass rush, because damn, it's been missing for a while. And again, this is one of the choices where earlier in the season, I said this could be it's almost a 50-50 at this point because again, these are one of the games I feel like the Titans would end up choking because they didn't take them too serious. And as we get closer to game day, it starts really taking a toll, and you can tell um, this is going to be a game. This is not going to be no pushover again. Um, the Bears, even though they're again, like you said, they struggle on offense, but it doesn't matter because our defense struggles. You know, we have the best, one of the best defensive red zones, and they struggle on offense with the red zone. So it's a coin flip, like you said, and
It's weakness versus weakness, like our weak defense against their weak offense,
yep.
and our great offense against their great defense.
Yep.
So it's going to be which unit can outperform the other. It's a Chicago team. They only average 20 points per game. They only average 310 yards of total offense. They only rush for about 85 yards per game. So if we can stop the run, and I think one thing, and people will find this funny, but I really think usually it's the team that you worry about getting the ball last.
Mm-hmm.
I think whoever can get the ball first, whoever wins the coin flip, whoever decides to take possession first, because the last two games against Pittsburgh, against Cincinnati, we let the offense go right down the field and score points, eat up half of the first quarter, and then our offense comes in the game and they're cold from sitting on the sideline for 10 to 15 minutes after they've already warmed up. So really, I'm hoping that we take the football first. Even if we win the coin toss, we normally defer, put the defense on the field first.
Mm-hmm.
If we win the coin toss, I'm really hoping Vrabel will say, let me go put the offense on the field first. Let me try to go get points. Let the team feel good about itself, and then put the pressure on the other team. The last couple of weeks, we've been playing from behind, and it's been a lot of pressure on Tannehill, and he's really struggled the last couple of games.
And that makes, I mean, that's a perfect point and a really good strategy. Maybe Mike Vrabel, knowing that our defense is kind of banged up and there's some new, faces on that defensive line, maybe he goes, hey, let's get momentum first. Let's score. Let's get that confidence back because we've been struggling, and instead of playing from behind, it's true. It's very true, and hopefully, we'll see what happens. We'll get to the three keys in a little bit. As of right now, we're going to talk about the injury report because apparently the Bears, they got the case of the COVID. All right.
25% of I think like half the league has somebody in COVID protocol right now.
I mean, but no one's freaking out, right? So they had multiple players test positive, and the team personnel identify as high risk and close contact. So Thursday, they decided to shut down. The player who got it was Cody Whitehair. After that, Jason Springs was placed on the COVID list Tuesday. So they're still trying to figure out and still doing a lot more testing. And obviously, the closer we get to kickoff, we'll find out who's actually playing this and that. Because that's one thing. Now they don't freak out as, I guess maybe they're used to it now of players getting it and just going through protocol, right? So, I mean, unfortunately, that's how things are nowadays. It's like, oh, he got COVID. Let's do the procedures. Let's go one step at a time and seeing. But they didn't practice Thursday, and we don't know officially who was affected or not. And we only had those two players. But again, it's a hard situation with especially that disease and stuff, and figure out who got affected or who was in close contact. So that's why they kind of shut down the whole practice. What'd you make of this, man?
Man, that's been crazy this week with the COVID outbreak across the NFL. I mean, you've seen, the Raiders get fined. They got a draft pick taken away for their repeat violations. And I saw a lot of people on social media talking about, what about the Titans? The Titans, they only got a a slap on the wrist for their COVID violations. Well, yeah, we weren't repeat offenders. This is like the third time that the Raiders have been repeat offenders. So they got a draft pick taken away, a 6th-round pick taken away. So for Chicago, you know, players are going to get it now. The NFL recognizes that. It's just a matter if you're wearing your tracking device, they can see who's been in close contact, take those players off the practice field for a day or two, and then if they test negative, allow them to go back and play. With the game last night between the Niners and the Packers, there were several players on both teams who missed the game due to COVID concerns. So I think the league is becoming a little bit more tolerant. That's why they allowed the rosters to increase so that you do have extra players, and they're treating it like injuries now. Unless there's a really bad situation that happened with the Titans where you have 10, 11, 12 players out, then that's a definite concern. But if you got 2, 3, 4 players, the NFL is going to go ahead and continue with these games as long as they can keep, everything contained. And I think that's where they're finding teams these heavy amounts of money now. Even Pittsburgh, I think, got a $250,000 fine.
For not wearing the mask.
Not wearing his mask on the sideline. So if you're not wearing your mask and your team come down with a COVID situation, you're going to get hit in the pocketbooks as a team. What's up, little man?
Of course, he would come the one time. All right, buddy, go. Okay. Go with grandma. I'm sorry, Ken.
Hold on, ball, man. You know how the kids are. Man. They want that camera time.
Oh my God, definitely. Look, he's deciding to put his Titans hat on. Look, I can't make this stuff up, man. All right, there you go. Good job. All right, go with grandma. But I'm sorry. Like we were saying before we got interrupted. Yeah, I think Look, no, might as well
I'm making a family show. I'm gonna get my grandson in a minute. He's doing virtual school today, so
he just finished his virtual school, so a little bit too early. But again, the NFL obviously knows what they're dealing with now, and I think now, with all these fines and stuff, I think people will take it a little bit more serious. The Titans got a lot of criticism just because they didn't even know what's happening too, and we still got criticized. And still to this day, which everyone makes a joke now, is, hey, he got COVID, and like, oh, what Titan player was he around? That happens all the time now. But
right.
I mean, it's something that the NFL should adjust to and keep going with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think they're doing the right thing. They're trying to keep guys safe, but at the same time, they're trying to keep games going because teams are already into their bye weeks now. So there's really no room for error.
Exactly.
Unless you create, that week 18 that we've been talking about at the end of the season, which they're talking about if they have to go to that, they may have to add an extra playoff team and this, that, and the other. So there's a lot of moving parts going on with the league. So, but again, for us and the Bears, it looks like the Bears should be good to go. So I'm pretty confident that the game will go on that schedule.
All right, so let's talk about the Tennessee Titans injury report. As we know, Clowney missed 2 days in a row. Dory did not practice. He practiced yesterday, but he didn't practice today. And Adam Humphries and Brett Kern, you can count them out. They're out. Mike Rabel already said it. So, what do you think about this Clowney issue, Ian?
Well, with Clowney, that's unfortunate. I saw a report that, we have the short turnaround after the Chicago game. So he could be out for Chicago and Indy if that knee is a problem. So we'll just have to wait and see. Vrabel really didn't shed any light on it today at his press conference.
No.
So they'll decide on Saturday. They wanted to give him the whole week off to allow him to recover. So he'll go through a walkthrough on Saturday, and then they'll make the determination at that time. Probably the same with Adoree Jackson. Now, by league rule, they don't have to activate him from the IR until next Wednesday. So they could still leave him off the 53-man roster this weekend if he's not ready to go. So we'll have to wait and see on that. The special teams, of course, unfortunately, is a mess. You don't have Brett Kern, who's your punter, and also your holder.
Yep.
And then you have a new long snapper because we cut Bo Brinkley. And then Gostkowski's already been struggling this year. So you hope that we can score a lot of touchdowns this week and maybe go for 2, because I don't trust the kicking game at all, punting or extra points or field goals. So it's really going to be a struggle there. And then, of course, as you mentioned, Adam Humphries with the wicked hit that he took last week is out with the concussion. You got a lot of love, baby.
Yeah, a lot of love. Ian, can you go, buddy, please?
No.
No? Okay. All right. Well, you have to be quiet, all right? So we can, okay? Yeah. So go over there, bud. Yeah, like I was saying, like you were saying, the special teams and defense is weird, though, because lately, a couple of seasons ago, our special teams and our defense was the one that was holding the Titans, you know? Our offense was the one that always struggled. For some reason, our offense just never had that fire. We didn't have any weapons to throw to. Our run game would be inconsistent. But this year, the past couple of years, it's the special teams that, well, we're usually good on special teams. Again, it's this year. It's 2020, man. It's 2020, and it's just been very, very hard for the Titans. And usually we excel at special teams. Our defense is usually keeps us in the games. But
yeah, we've even been giving up punt returns and kickoff returns, which we never do defensively. So again, I don't know if that goes to the depth. I know losing Ryan Suckup last year to injury, because he had been money for us for a couple of years. Very, very consistent within 50 yards. And now he's having a bounce back season with Tampa Bay. Yeah, he's having a very good season. So he got hurt last year, and that just kind of threw everything off, and we decided not to bring him back this year. And Gostkowski, I mean, he's been up and down. You know, he's hit and miss, and you really just can't afford to have that, especially with as many close games as we play. We've only had one blowout this year. That was against Buffalo, of course, but every other game,
we've been in it.
Last week against Cincinnati, you know, has been within one score for the most part. So you really have to have all 3 phases of the game working, at least 2 of the 3. Exactly. And right now we only have 1 of the 3. So like I say, Sunday's going to be a toss-up. We're going to have to hope that the good Titans show up.
All right. Now let's talk about the 3 keys for a Titans victory. What do you think, Ken, are the 3 keys for us to get a win, man, to get back into the win column, to not go on this hopefully not a 3-game skid, going again on short week notice against the Colts, who are 5-2, tied for us. It's going to be that division game is going to be very crazy. Plus, who does Indy play this week?
They have Baltimore.
Okay, so they should lose. But you never know. But so what are the keys to victory, bud?
For me, number 1, we have to get off to a fast start. It doesn't matter if we start off on offense, start off on defense. If defense is on the field, they need to get a quick 3 and out, try to get the ball back to the offense. And we need to score first in this ball game. I think that's imperative. You're going up against a team that's teetering, just like we're teetering right now, as far as on a confidence level. So I think the team that can score first will definitely have the upper hand in this one. Secondly, again, we got to force turnovers. We're 2nd in the league in turnovers. We didn't have one last week against Cincinnati. So we got to try to get in there, pop the football loose, get some positive momentum for our guys. And then thirdly, I think Harold Landry and Derek Roberson getting inserted into that linebacker position where he's going to be a starter, or if Clowney can play, he's coming off the bench, but he'll definitely be in the rotation. I look to see how effective Landry and Derek Roberson and Clowney, if he plays, those guys have to be able to apply pressure. Nick Foles is not a mobile quarterback. You won't face a mobile quarterback for the next 2 weeks. You got Phillip Rivers next Thursday. You got Nick Foles tonight. So you have to get pressure up the middle with Simmons, on the outside with the outside rushers, force him to make some bad decisions, turn the football over. That's our path to victory. We have to start fast. We have to force turnovers. We have to get pressure on Nick Foles.
Definitely. Especially starting off, we usually always start off slow, regardless of what game we're in and stuff like that. And again, I worry just because we don't cover tight ends very well. Jimmy Graham is playing. That might turn very, very ugly if we don't kind of nip it in the butt real early. Again, Desmond King, is he going to play? I know he was doing Zoom calls, and I think he can be on the practice field, tomorrow? I said?
I think so.
Yeah. I think so. So
if everything goes well.
If everything goes well. But again, everyone thinks automatically, our defense is going to be like if Adoree Jackson comes back, definitely adds another player to the defense. But, playing that position, it takes a while. It takes communication. It gets knowing that player or players that you're, surrounding with. So it's not going to be, I think, what everyone thinks, just automatically it's a fix automatically. It's not going to be like that. It's going to take a little bit. But him and Joseph, who would you pick? Obviously, I would pick him.
Yeah. But if we don't see King, then maybe we're stuck with Ty Smith out there, and he hasn't been good on the outside. Crookshank maybe get some secondary action perhaps. Move Malik Hooker down. Maybe try to put him in the slot position. They're going to have to be very creative defensively. Luckily, you're playing the Bears, who don't have a good offense. But you have to take advantage of that by applying pressure to the quarterback and forcing him to get rid of the ball before he wants to, and try to challenge those receivers in some press coverage.
Definitely. So let's do my favorite part of the show, the predictions. What are your predictions? What do you got?
Man, my predictions have been in the trash. I've been like 1-3 since I've been on your show.
That's all right, man. It happens.
But, man, look, this is a really good football team in Tennessee. I do not envision us losing 3 games in a row. I think it'll be a tough, low-scoring ball game. I'm going to go with the Titans 23-16. 23-16, Tennessee in a tough, low-scoring affair.
I'm going to go – people are going to hate me. I'm going to go the opposite, man. I'm going to take the Bears 24-21. Again, we lose. It's going to be a tough game. It's going to be close. But I just feel like our defense and their defense is just completely, regardless, it outweighs the situation. And don't get me wrong, hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully the Titans can pull it out. But the way our defense has been playing, and since they're just going to be new faces, I mean, hopefully they come out with that fire and put some pressure. But I just believe the Bears are not the better team. Titans are a more talented, better team, but it might just be their night. So that's what I'm going for, man.
Yeah, another thing to look at is time possession. When we're on offense, we can't go 3 and out. We can't go, 1 first down and then punt the ball. Yep. We have to have long, sustained drives, get Derrick Henry, Deontay Foreman, McNichols, get those guys involved. Need to get our tight ends back involved in the ball game. Frisker and Jonnu Smith, those guys have not been in the offensive game plan receiving the football the last couple of weeks. They've been having to stay in and kind of help block with Taylor Lewan out, and you kind of see the trickle-down effect of Lewan being out. So now you got to keep the tight ends in to help chip block, and they can't get out on their routes. Now, Corey Davis and A.J. Brown, they've been doing a tremendous job on the outside, but we haven't seen much of Khalif Raymond. in the offensive game plan. Of course, Adam Humphries is out. And, of course, John Smith has been dealing with an ankle, so he hadn't been 100%. So you hope that he can get back because he's a very important weapon to our offense, and we've really been missing his explosive plays out of the passing game.
Absolutely, man. So hopefully, again, going this Sunday, we get a victory and we just move on to the Colts, man. So again, thank you so much, Ken Moore. Let everyone know where they can find you. Go give them the
Yeah, absolutely. You guys can find me on YouTube. I'm at K Moore Sports. I will have a post game, likely either Sunday night or Monday morning. Typically, I'll do it on Monday morning. I allow the guys to do theirs on Sunday. I'll have a pregame on Saturday evening as well that I'll post with some additional keys that you can look for to the ball game against the Bears. So that's at K Moore Sports on YouTube, at K Moore Sports on Twitter, at Ken Moore Sports on Instagram. So check me out. Go to my YouTube, hit subscribe. I'm trying to get to these guys next level, and hopefully I can get a Spotify or Apple contract pretty soon.
You will, my friend. The way you talk and stuff, trust me. If they give it to me, they give it to anyone, man. So, but again, thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And Ken, have a good one, man. And always tighten up, my friend.
Tighten up, man. Have a good weekend. Say hi to the baby boy for me.
You too, brother.